Guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I wanted to talk about why Rimworld is so awesome. If you enjoyed today's video, then please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel if you are new, so let's get straight into it. Before we begin, I want to preface, if you see something in the recorded gameplay footage that isn't in your game, it is likely from a mod because I have mods installed. More on mods at the end of the video if you guys want to check that out. Hey you, yes you, do you like to torture and make video game NPCs suffer? To see them get hurt and their lives to crumble before your eyes, only for you to give them a slap in the face, tell them to suck it up? Well, boy do I have the game for you. Rimworld is a colony management game where you essentially play God and can either be kind and merciful to your pawns, which is what the game calls the colonists, or you can rule over them with an iron fist. The freedom this game gives you to do whatever you want is honestly, for a lack of a better way of describing it, fucking awesome. However, one problem this does have in order to give you this freedom to do whatever you want, the game is rather complex, and a little bit daunting for new players to get into. I know for me personally, it took me a little bit to get into the game and really get invested into it. But now that I've fully got grasp of the game, I am very so much addicted to this game, and I love it so much. It is so much fun, and with its complex and varied gameplay, a wide variety of things you can build and do, and an interesting procedural story that is different every run. More on this later, but definitely guys, it's so much fun. One of the most important things you'll do before a run is pre-game preparation. This consists of you choosing a starting scenario, which can be one of your 4 pre-made starting scenarios, or even a custom-made one. These pre-made scenarios are usually how many colonists you start with, how many items you start with, and etc, etc. The next thing you'll need to be presented with is a storyteller to choose from, the game's difficulty, and whether you want a permadeath run or not. These are the 3 base storytellers. The other ones you can see in my game storytellers are added with mods essentially, so you guys won't have these. The 3 storytellers are Classic Cassandra, Phoebe Chillax, and Randy Random. Classic Cassandra is the base storyteller and the one that I would recommend most people start with. Her gameplay is still a short amount of time between events, as increasing difficulty over time the more you progress the game. The second storyteller, Phoebe Chillax, is not the one I would recommend for the first playthrough, which sounds odd, doesn't it, because it says Chillax in the name. Which would you think would be easiest for new players to become accustomed to the game? Well, you'd be somewhat wrong. So Phoebe Chillax has a lot of downtime between events, but when those events do happen, depending on the difficulty, she will hit surprisingly hard, so she can be a little bit difficult for new players. The final storyteller, and also without a doubt the best storyteller, Randy Random. Randy is one of the most players will do in their runs. He is brutal and extremely unforgiving, and is the true way to play this game. As the name suggests, Randy Random is, well, random. He might throw an easy challenge at you, or he might throw an entire fucking army at you all at once. The next thing you will do is choose your world seed, world size, and what factions you want to have in the game. Then you will choose your starting location, and boom, you're in the game. So, it's time to talk about your colony subjects that you are going to be likely torturing throughout your playthrough. The game calls these subjects pawns. Once you get to the pawn creation screen, you will be met with 3 randomized characters with their randomized stats, traits, backgrounds, injuries, and names are all randomized. See this button at the top right? This button is your best friend, but also your worst enemy. This button can be a dick. This button will essentially randomize your selected colonists every time you press it to give you even more ungodly combinations. Once you are done with the pawn creation, it is time to begin the game. But by the way, if you want to be able to fully customize your pawns, I will be talking about a mod in the mod section of the review at the end of the video that allows you to do this. Rimworld's gameplay is a masterclass in player freedom, from the biggest decisions right down to the smallest decisions. You'll start off the game crash landing onto a planet with limited resources. Quickly, it becomes a frantic rush to get your colony up and running with the basic necessities being shelter and food. From that point onwards, the game really opens up and you can really take the game in any direction you want. Want to run a normal boring ass colony and try to survive? Yeah, you can do that. Want to run a brewery or a drug cartel colony? Yeah, you can do that. Or do you want to run a colony where you capture all the people that raid your colony, imprison them, and then harvest their organs and sell them on the black market for a huge profit? No? Well, too bad, you can do that too. Okay, so let's talk about the way this game deals out new content. There are 2 types of content, paid expansions and free content updates. Free content updates tend to come along with an expansion, which are released roughly every year and a bit. These come with a small to medium number of new features. The big content updates, however, come from the paid expansions, of which as a recording of this video, there are 2. The first expansion is called Royalty. This expansion adds in royal households and noble families along with psychic powers and much more. The second paid expansion, Ideology, essentially adds in a religion system into the game that greatly overhauls the gameplay experience of the game. So if you are looking to getting into Rimworld and playing it for the first time, here is what I would suggest doing. First, buy the game, see if you like it. If you do, well, you're addicted for life. But after that you've sorted out your addiction, I would strongly recommend buying both of the expansions for the game. They are both very much worth it. Mods in the game are one of the best aspects of the game. They greatly expand the content of the game or can tweak existing features of the game to your preference. There are a wide range of mods, from mods that allow you to start wars, the mods that allow you to expand farming, the existing farming crops so you can have a peaceful life. And then have Randy Random come and fuck it up. The best part about it as well is that all of these mods are simple one-click installs through the Steam Workshop that praise the Lord Gaben for giving us the gift of the gods. No, but seriously, this feature is amazing and is one of the huge driving forces of the game for me personally. There are 2 mods in particular that I would personally recommend as being essential if you want to start somewhere. The first is called Prepare Carefully. This mod allows you to fully customize your pawns to tailor them to the kind of experience you want to have. The second is Camera Plus, which essentially vastly improves the camera, allowing you to do stuff like zooming out a lot more. All in all, I personally think Rimworld is an amazing game that is not for everyone, but if it is your type of game, I can assure you you'll lose your life to this game. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Consider leaving a like on the video and subscribing to the channel, and hit the bell if you are new. Bye guys, hope you guys have a good one.